So, some people have asked me my thoughts about HappyCabbie's Flag Week video. And they keep forwarding me the link. And sometimes it's a non sequitur and they're talking about something and then they forward me the link again in the middle of something else, and it's like they're rickrolling me with this link. Because they know when I saw this video, initially I thought it was nightmarish, and it seemed as if it were specifically designed to troll the fucksnot out of me. And I decided to take a day or two to formulate a response and not come off like Edible Napalm the Phoenix did, because he obviously filmed it with his rage, you know, fresh, and wow. I do recommend you watch his video to see that side of the argument, but I'll leave what he said as is, because I'm just going to try to add to this discourse here. I mostly disagree with what HappyCabbie is doing. But first, let me say some positive things about it. Some constructive criticism here. First, I'd say that it's illustrating the problem for everyone, that there's something wrong with this flagging system. And the problem is that one person can unilaterally decide to take down 3,000 channels in a week and use the flagging system to make that happen. Second, I would say what's good about his video is it's promoting discourse about what is a false flag and what is not. It's also promoting discourse as to whether YouTube guidelines are the measuring stick of morality when you're enjoying YouTube as a user, and not something like U.S. law or just general ethics drawn from some other source, you know. If you're just going by what's okay by YouTube standards, then maybe we've got a problem. You know, if YouTube is the be-all, end-all of morality to you. So, the problems that I have with HappyCabbie's Flag Week video. I'm going to start with the definitions of the people who he has decided do not belong on YouTube anymore could fit possibly a lot of other people that I don't think that he's targeting. But if we were just going by the definitions of scams and frauds and multi-level marketing that he's using, would you say that maybe your grandmother who's selling Avon on YouTube, that she wouldn't be just as guilty? Because nobody makes money at Avon except for the Avon company, right? And people who promote other people to join Avon by putting a little link in their description box of their videos and saying, hey, if you join under me, you know, I get this special thing. Could you please help me out? And then, you know, a pyramid scheme is formed. Same fucking thing with Amway, right? If you didn't get in at the beginning of Amway, you're not making the money. It's everybody else who is having their entrepreneurship exploited. You know, they're poor people who don't have enough money to invest into any business, so they get into Amway, you know, or Tupperware, or Pampered Chef. How many different things on YouTube are you going to flag down that are actually considered quite reputable in certain circles? I mean, I like Pampered Chef stuff myself. Hold on. This isn't what it's supposed to be used for. But, let's see. I've got this carousel here, and it's supposed to be used for, like, kitchen utensils, but I use it for, over there on my desk, I use it for pens and pencils and stuff, because you can twirl it around and find what you're looking for. They sell some good products. Have you ever cooked on a Pampered Chef stone, like a pizza or something? It's awesome. Anyways, Pampered Chef people don't make that money. It's the Pampered Chef company that's making all that money that all those Pampered Chef parties are thrown for. It's a scam, you know? It's a way to get people to work for you without paying them shit. Okay? And me being a union employee, I really feel bad for these people who are tricked into doing so much work for the company that they're doing it for, and then not getting paid because they're being told, oh, you'll get a commission, you know, and that commission is crap compared to how much hours they're putting into it. And I really feel like they should be, you know, paid a livable wage if they're being tricked into working for this company, you know. So many hours. I've seen people go nuts with, you know, thinking that they are going to be able to support themselves off of Avon and Amway and Tupperware. I'm kind of showing my age, though, too, because I mentioned Tupperware. Okay, so I think all of those would fit HappyCabbie's multi-level marketing scam and fraud definition. He's free to explain to me if none of those do, and why he thinks that those don't fit, while the things that he is flagging are. But also, would he flag self-help things? Things that just quote platitudes, like restating everything that Deepak Chopra ever says that is meaningless, and yet you know, points to a book full of more meaningless platitudes at the end of the video. Would you flag that? You know, because people feel like, oh, it's helping them so much, but in reality it's meaningless drivel. How about homeopathy? Would that not fit in the fraud category? Is Cabbie targeting all these homeopathics? I wonder. HHO scams. Something I learned from YouTuber HHO Info, who also happened to have bought me a chili dinner once, right after a Skeptic Camp. Yeah. HHO, are we flagging that down, or are we making videos debunking it? Most people make videos debunking it, and they use the video supporting it as like a jump-off point. And if you take down the video that they debunk, then what's the value of the debunking video? I could say the same for all sorts of bigots and quote-unquote fucktards on YouTube. If you flag down their videos, then all the videos made about them kind of are not anchored by the source video. Crystal healing. Do you believe in crystal healing? Do you think it might be a hoax, a fraud? Do you think that maybe it would fit HappyCabbie's fraud definition enough that anybody who promotes crystal healing should be flagged off of YouTube and never allowed back because they believe in the magic of crystal healing? How about faith healing? Oh, there's a raw topic, huh? Because I'm going somewhere with this. Let's march on down this slippery slope and say faith healing is some nasty, nasty stuff, but there are so many preachers on YouTube. And when you flag this as fraud, because they say that it's because you didn't have enough faith when you gave this money to us, that's why you didn't get healed. When you flag this as fraud, are you flagging it in a way that doesn't step on religious expression? How about prosperity gospels? people who say that if you give us money, it's a show of faith to God and God will reward you in your life. They don't even promise healing. These people are actually promising that if you believe in God, you will get rich. Are you flagging down these people? Because that is their religious belief, that if you believe in God, you're going to get rich in this life. Okay? Religion in general. Okay? The people in question here, in this flagging week, they're atheists. You know? So, of course, they probably think that a lot of religions in general are frauds. You know, are you going to flag them all down? You're going to be busy for quite a while. And then there's something that other people have touched on, and they've said e-begging is a type of fraud. And I don't think that e-begging in and of itself is fraud. But let's say you e-begged for something, and then you didn't use it for what it was intended for. This could get really, really dicey if you were to say e-beg because you had a medical condition, and then you had that condition looked at by a doctor with the money that you e-begged for, and then you continued to do the things to your body that were ruining your health, thus negating any gains you got from people donating to checking in on your health. And you know, I've heard a lot of people go the whole Brett Keane route because they're connecting Brett Keane to Happy Cabbie because they're friends. But I'm actually saying this like directly to Happy Cabbie. Leave Brett Keane out of this shit. I don't need to bring him up. Okay, to say that the argument could be made that if you e-beg for a doctor's appointment because you have a liver problem because you're overweight, and then you go binge eat a couple times, and then you eat enough to maintain the weight that causes that liver problem, you kind of went against the intent of the people who were donating to your medical fund. So, yeah. And there's all sorts of different variations of the how you're being a hypocrite and flagging down fraud, rah, 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 rah. You know what? I'm pretty sure that some of those variations would be applicable to me as well. Let's say I believed in a cause called Occupy Wall Street, and I raised, say $1,500 of it. You know, $1,500, and then I spent all of it on the Occupy movement and made videos, you know, giving the money and giving the services and giving all the food and supplies and everything to them. And I could account for it with receipts. But later on, I made videos denouncing my ties to the Occupy movement. And, you know, are you allowed to change your mind after you e-beg or promote a cause? People could be knocking on my door soon. I don't know. I do know that I'm going to look into any cause that I promote from now on, because I don't want to change my mind like that ever again, because it hurts. It really does. You feel like you're stuck in this. You know, it's kind of like how Bionic Dance can't get over the whole all babies are atheists thing because her friend Glenn has a channel called All Babies Are Atheists, and if they change their mind on that, then he basically pisses away a subscriber base, or has to explain to everybody how it's ironic or something. You know, they're invested. They can't change now, and it's very, very hard too. You lose a lot. Anyways, that's a huge tangent. If you want to see the argument about e-begging that Napalm the Phoenix made, that's fine. You can go see his Brett Keane related e-begging argument. I'm going to make two arguments right now that are personal between me and Happy Cabbie. Okay, not the whole his health fundraiser thing. Two of them, okay, that Happy Cabbie has frauded. He has led me into a scam. Okay, the first one is general, and I might be guilty of it for one of you who are watching this video, but it is called The Argument from a Lowly Apprentice. Okay, and the argument from a lowly apprentice states that YouTube itself has become a pyramid scheme. The way it's become a pyramid scheme is people like Happy Cabbie, who started in the beginning and got a subscriber base that was substantial in the beginning. We are feeding their view counts because YouTube is structured such that the algorithm gives them priority on the suggested videos list based on the amount of views that their videos have already received and the amount of views that their channel has received. All right? So anybody who comes in new to YouTube and thinks that they're going to make money, and sometimes, you know, they think that they're going to rise to the level of Happy Cabbie and be able to make a couple $100s a month off their YouTube videos to supplement their income, they're being tricked into this. You know, this false promise. And now it's easier than ever to become a network partner, you know. They've lowered the bar so far because so many people now have this dream of having that viral video that just makes them thousands of dollars instantly, you know. And that dream is being preyed upon by people who got in when the getting was good, such as Happy Cabbie. In fact, people who got in when the getting was good don't even have to make videos with good substance and content to them. They just make crap videos and people watch them because they've already fixed the algorithm to promote their videos on the sidebar such that they're going to get videos no matter fucking what. But you guys, the ones who are new to YouTube and look up to these guys and think, wow, one day I want to be at that level and I've got so much to say. In fact, the shit that I say is so much better than this guy's. When I get there, it's going to be so much better for me. You're at a disadvantage, and that's because it's a pyramid scheme. Every view that you get leads somebody to view one of these other top dogs' videos, okay? Any person that you bring to YouTube and teach them all the diversity that is on YouTube, they're going to be led to a couple of these higher level YouTubers that have been established for a long time. You know, anyone who you are promoting your channel to at your low level is going to be marketed to because of the structure of YouTube to push them up towards the top. This is a pyramid scheme. And that is the argument from a lowly apprentice. And it's a very general argument. It applies to Happy Cabbie. It applies to anyone who's had a channel before, say, 2009, you know, and their subscriber count is something that goes up no matter what they fucking do. They can even not make a video for 6 months, like, say, Fact versus Religion, and still make more subscribers than somebody who puts out a video with content every fucking day, like, say, me. That's my envy talking. So yeah, that was my first argument. Second one, okay? This is my second argument that Happy Cabbie has led me into a scam. This is directly towards Happy Cabbie. Happy Cabbie led me to joining my first YouTube network, which was TGN. He did it by leaving a little link on his channel page, which I saw and I followed, and then I joined TGN. Now, while I was at TGN, I was actually defrauded because TGN defrauded their members by stating that they were getting 80% payouts, right? But they were only getting 80% of something that was already cut to 60% because Broadband TV, the upper-level corporation, was taking 40%, leaving 60%. And then TGN was paying 80% of that 60%. Okay? And when people complained about the poor payouts of TGN, they all of a sudden raised the payouts just another 20%. That little play that they had, which basically meant that the TGN people were making no money at that point. But that happened towards the end of the year last year. Videos were made about this. And Happy Cabbie was completely fucking silent about this. There's a video on Ponage All-Stars right now that explains what happened when TGN was actually promoting that George Vanus, the original CEO, was still part of the company. They didn't erase him from the website at all. They were promoting him as the CEO still when he had cut ties with the company. And the reason why they did this was because they wanted to keep people stuck in TGN. TGN had this program where you could join, and if you didn't like them, all you had to do was give a month's notice and they would drop you. And you could go find another network. Now, this was to entice people to try them out for a little while, right? Other networks already were signing people up to 1- and 2-year contracts. Well, December of last year was the last month that you could get out of TGN before being locked into a 1-year contract. And they didn't want anyone to know that people were jumping ship, like, say, the CEO of the fucking company, who knew what was going on with that fraud and didn't want to be a part of it anymore. HappyCabbie's link led me into that company, led me into this situation where I was getting paid less than I was told I was getting paid. Okay? They said I was going to get 80%. They gave me 80% of the 60% that was left over after Broadband TV already took their cut. That is fraud. Okay? So, as far as I know, Happy Cabbie had that link on his channel for a very, very long time. In fact, after the changeover from that December where people got locked into that 1-year contract and couldn't get out before that, this year was over. But during that time, I will say that when I made my break from TGN, which was almost at the last minute, there was a change of the guard, and they actually have better management now. And people might actually be having a good experience at TGN now. But during this really rocky time that I had with TGN, people were being led into this fraudulent thing by the link on Happy Cabbie's channel page. Okay? So, there's my two arguments. Last thing I want to say about Happy Cabbie's video, which is the biggest thing that I disagree with. And I haven't heard many people talk about this really in depth, but it's the quota. The 3,000 person quota. Now, in other circumstances where a quota is placed on punishing people, like, say, a state trooper is given a quota of he needs to give 100 tickets in a day. What does that make people think about that state trooper? Is he giving out tickets to people that deserve them, or is he giving them out because he's got this quota pushing him? If you state that you are trying to reach a certain number, that immediately makes all of your judgment of everybody else that you're trying to punish questionable. Okay? It means you have another motivation, which is the quota. If the quota he was trying to meet was something like, I'm going to spend a certain amount of time reviewing videos, I would have less of a problem with it. But his quota actually stated that he was going to have 3,000 channels flagged. And I believe it calls into question his honor and integrity. So, that was my 2 cents. Admittedly, a bit calmed down from the first time I saw that video. But, hope you all enjoyed it. And I'm just going to sit back and watch and see how this unfolds, because we are in a little bit of a transitional phase on YouTube, where things really are being redefined in a way that's, I think, going to be for the better and going to work out for all of us. Every time something like an exploit happens where, say, certain people find themselves immune from the criticism of the system, and then they start exploiting it, I think YouTube catches on after a while, and it becomes smarter, and one day we'll have this thing whittled down to a place where everyone can enjoy themselves again, and nobody is able to exploit the system one way or the other. Hopefully.